Hello, and welcome to this demo on ForEach UI element activity. The ForEach UI element activity iterates through a list of UI elements and performs one or multiple actions on each of them. In this demo, we will build a workflow to highlight the action button for all open WI5 work items by using a ForEach UI element function to filter and iterate through each UI element and perform the action on each one. Let's start with a blank project that has already been created. Let's add the Use Application Browser card to select the web page containing the work items. Next, let's add the ForEach UI element activity. The ForEach UI element activity is designed to iterate through a collection of UI elements that share the same properties and perform the same set of actions on each element. This activity is commonly used in automation workflows to interact with multiple UI elements, such as checkboxes or drop-down list items, in a consistent and efficient manner. ForEach UI element activity allows you to automate repetitive tasks involving multiple UI elements with minimal effort, instead of selecting each element manually and performing the same actions on each. As our goal involves performing the same action on multiple work items, the ForEach UI element activity is the best choice. Let's click the Indicate option, which will open the ForEach UI element wizard. This wizard is similar to table extraction and is user-friendly. Next, let's click the Add UI element button. This will allow us to select the first UI element in the collection that we want to work with. Once we select the first UI element, the wizard will automatically identify and select the other elements that share the same properties. This is because the ForEach UI element activity is designed to iterate through a collection of similar UI elements. The Pause option allows us to temporarily pause the configuration. Let's indicate the search icon located under the Action column. As we can see, all similar items are selected. After indicating the UI element, we can select the labels around it by simply clicking on them and adding them to the current selection. This step is useful when we need to extract additional information that's related to the UI element we have selected. We want to highlight the WI5 type whose status is open. To achieve this, let's add two labels. Let's add a label to the status column by indicating any UI element within this column. Another label to the type column. After extracting, if we want to delete a particular column label, we can do so by using the delete icon located next to it. The preview option helps us have a sneak peek at the extraction. Our data is spread across multiple pages, so we can enable the option to extract data from multiple pages. In case we want to delete the Next button, we can use Delete option from here. We can edit the Next button descriptor by clicking the Settings option. A section window will open in which we can edit the generated descriptor. The wizard's Settings section lets us set a limit for UI element extraction. This will update the limit extraction to and number of items properties. We can choose from three types of limits: max UI elements, default 1000, no limit, and max pages, for tables spanning multiple pages. For this demo, since our data spans across multiple pages, let's select the first 4 pages. Let's confirm our configuration and return to our workflow. We can filter the items we extracted with our selection by using the Configure Filter button in the body of the activity, which opens a Filter UI Elements window. In this window, we can select any items we have indicated and specify a condition for it to be filtered. Since we want to highlight work items with an open status, let's select the status label. And let's select the type label to filter the work items and only select the ones with type WI5. Let's confirm our configuration by clicking OK button. Next, let's add highlight activity. We have already collected the UI elements that we want to highlight. No further configuration of the UI elements is required. We can simply reference current element as the input element, as it contains all required information. It's time for us to run the workflow. As expected, all work items with type WI5 and open status are highlighted. We can always change the configuration by clicking the Edit Configuration button and changing the required things here, saving and returning, and the changes will automatically take effect. This concludes our demo on the ForEach UI element activity. Here's a quick recap. For each UI element activity, iterates through a list of UI elements and performs one or more actions on each. We can configure the extraction of UI elements using the ForEach UI element wizard. We can add criteria or filter the extraction based on our requirements using the configure filter option. Ready for the challenge? Create automation using ForEach UI element by identifying your own use cases. Thanks for watching, and see you in our next demo.